Good morning.
Let's go. Rise and energize.
I still didn't put music to the intro. I haven't
Happy
found it yet.
Wednesday.
So we did one with no music.
We good. We good.
We're
We
good.
still got a dope
Exactly.
graphic. Dope graphic. I like it.
Thank you. Do you like it?
I
It took
do.
me forever to figure out
I do
how to
like it.
create it
I
the
like
way
it
that I
sweet.
wanted it, right? Like I visualize something and it has to like meet that visual, which, sometimes is a time waster.
You know
But
what I'm visualizing today for our Rise and Energize?
what?
Something that I struggle with immensely.
Oh, God.
Overcommitting. I said it, folks. I struggle with it, and it is a energy drain.
Well,
When
Jim, you say yes to everything, I feel like. And I know you want to be there for people. And because I understand the why. I understand Jim's why, right? Like you want to help people. You genuinely are of service to people. And I love that for you. However, when you say yes to everybody else, what are you saying no to, Jim?
myself and my
Exactly.
energy and what's important most so I can show up for everybody the way I wish and want. I get it. I struggle with it. So is there anything, Rachel, because you're getting really good at this. Like Rachel is very good at prioritization. She's very good at communicating. She's very good at saying, like, hey, let's not do this now, let's do this later. And I talk about the parking lot list. We've talked about it on this show, right? Put it in the list outside. Don't let it into the office. But sometimes there's things that I let into the office.
Sometimes.
Most of the time. So, Rachel, you're better than this at me. Tell me a little bit about some things you've done. Tell me a little bit about how you've navigated this. How you've transitioned to focus on this and then get really good at it. Can you share with folks today kind of your experience around
Yes.
overcommitment?
So Jim is a back-to-back guy, meaning if he has 15 minutes, he will say yes to somebody and shove it in that 15 minutes. That's not good for your mental health. It's not good for you at all. And I noticed that I used to be that person. I was saying yes to everybody else. And I wasn't saying yes to myself. I noticed, number one, when I was plotting my 2025, one of the things that I do is I go through my camera roll of the year before just to see like what were those like huge things I did for myself, like travel, vacation, family, like just whatever it is. And there were maybe 3 things in my camera roll that were for me. The rest were events and pictures and things of other people. I said yes to. Yes, I'll come help you with that event for free. Yes, I'll just cover this because you're a nonprofit and it's the right thing to do, I feel like, right? It's an energy gain if you're doing it to be of service, but it's a drain if it's like, I'm doing somebody a favor again, right? And I'm shoving it in and I'm saying yes to everybody else but myself. So number one, really look at that camera roll and think like, where did I show up for me in this year, right? Or in the last month? And that was hugely eye-opening for me because it was like, wow, I did barely anything with my family. I did nothing for myself, nothing for my own brand. And so that completely changed how I plotted out this year. The other thing is when you don't leave space in your calendar, you don't allow the universe, God, source, your higher self, whatever it is that brings that like manifestation magic to your life, you don't allow it time to bring you those amazing things. Because your brain is back to back to back to back to back to back to back.
Oh my
So
God.
instead of getting something amazing, some sort of an inspiration, because you're allowing your brain to like, right, stop for a minute. I used to get pissed when I was like waiting in line, right? I'd be like, oh, I'm in line. Like, what the fuck? Or like, this is happening to me. What the hell? We had the reservation. It's for this time. And my EFT tapping coach, EFT tapping is emotional freedom technique tapping. She sat me down and she said, Rachel, imagine you're in line because the universe is lining up a time frame of something amazing to happen. Maybe you get the better table. Maybe suddenly you get somebody else to pay it forward for you in line at the Starbucks. Maybe this magical thing's going to happen to you. So instead of looking at it as like, I'm waiting for something to happen, thank the universe for this time frame, because you know it's creating something magical instead. And so when you say yes to everything and you just have back to back to back to back on your schedule, because I think for you, it excites you that you like you're moving from one thing to another, but you're not allowing space for inspiration to come to you. You're not allowing space for something magical to happen in your day.
Mind
So
blown.
just rethink.
My mind's blown. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, couple of things I want to break down here. First, I am someone who, and I know where this comes from, but I've got if I don't feel like I make an effort into it occurring, then it may not occur. And did I show up the fullest? Did I try the hardest? Did I make the biggest effort that I capably, is that a word? I am capable of providing? Like, how do I balance that? That's when I struggle with. So for instance, hey, this thing can happen in line, for instance. What happens if they close at 9 o'clock and I didn't, let's go. Hey, this person's got you. You're saying, well, then I probably shouldn't have eaten that cheeseburger and something beautiful will come next. And on my way home, this spot's open and I've never tried it. I've been meaning to try it. Now, all of a sudden, I'm having a smoothie instead of a cheeseburger. My health is better. And I'm open to receiving that opportunity of the new smoothie joint that I've always wanted to try, but I never had time to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
I like to clarify because things that are hard for me, I want to just make sure I could grasp it. Maybe that's me doing this again.
But also, you're attached to a certain outcome, right? And like there's certain outcomes, yes, you can attach yourself to, but when it's that everyday stuff, when I would attach myself to an outcome, I would so be forcing the events to happen in a certain way because I wanted that outcome, instead of detaching from the outcome and allowing the universe, God, source, whatever it is, to bring me something probably even better. Something better than I even imagined.
It's that
Right.
level of
And
faith.
so
Yeah.
it's that level of faith. And I feel like when you're going back to back and you're moving and you're moving and you're moving and you're attached to a certain outcome, God, something magical could happen. You could miss the $1,000 that fell on the floor. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, like, when you're not paying attention because you're so attached to this outcome, you're missing the magic.
John Maxwell, one of the largest leadership coaches, and I think he's got 50,000 coaches underneath him coaching his framework, and older gentleman, just been around a lot of people in a lot of businesses over the years. He says, when you speak from stage and you say something that's profound, or you believe it to be profound because it's had an impact on you or it's changed your life, when you say that from stage, you need to pause uncomfortably so people can process and download it to ensure that they understand it. So then they can have faith in what you've just taught them because they know it and understand it. And when you were saying this, I was thinking kind of through that situation of like, okay, if I'm going back to back to back to back to back, am I actually taking that moment to understand what just happened, whether it's at a profound level or it's at a level of, I never want to do this again, right? Like, literally, let's talk about the show, energy rise or energy gain, and energy loss, right? Like, those are the two reflection points. Did this give me energy? Did it take energy? If I don't have time to understand that and download it, then how can I ever have faith in going forward with one concept or the other, doing something that gives energy or takes it away? I do need that moment of pause to let it register and to feel through it. In a lot of what he says in his case, he works in faith and religion around it. So he's saying, like, allow God to come into you, the Holy Spirit to come into your body and feel it and navigate it. But I think we can take that lesson into anything. It doesn't matter what you believe in. It doesn't matter, religion, source, creator, like whatever.
Yeah, it's the energy behind belief and faith. That's really all it is. That's how we manifest anything, is that we believe it. I helped somebody on camera this weekend. It was fascinating. I don't know if you saw the reel that I posted of her before and then after 3 hours of working with me.
It was badass. I don't know how else to describe it.
Fascinating. But I said to her, I was like, number one, trust me. Number two, detach yourself from the outcome of what you think this video should look like. And then number three, when you believe what you're saying, because my biggest thing is, that's great, do it again. That's great, do it again. Because even when you're reading off a teleprompter, it is your words, but you don't believe what you're saying until about the third cut, so the third time you're doing it. And so I would say, that's great, do it again. And I said, and then when you believe what you're saying, people will hear the message, because there's a different vibration when you're saying something that you believe versus saying something because it's written in a script. And I said, and that's the video that you post. Delete however many it took you to get here, right? I don't want to see you frustrated. I want you to be in the moment. And when you believe what you're saying to people, that's the video you post. And only then is that the video you post. It was
all right,
fascinating.
producer Rachel, so cool. What's up? Words of wisdom around how to shoot content. Like, I need a one-on-one in the impact community.
It's what I do for a living. I know. I do want to do it. I do want to do some of those courses in the community, because I truly do feel like people will benefit from it, because it's with anything, right? There's just a different vibration that comes from your body when you believe what you're saying. When you're just masking and you're saying it because someone else said it, so you feel like it's the right thing to say, no one's going to hear that. No one's going to hear that. And so just to watch her growth in 3 hours from like being scared on camera to like being so confident, because you know, like, you're an expert in what you do. We know our shit. And so if we can come from that space of just, I can help somebody, and like, somebody needs to hear this, and you believe what you're saying, it's fascinating what comes back at you. So
fascinating.
So regarding overscheduling and saying yes to everything, though, what are you going to challenge yourself, and what should we challenge everybody to do in this regard?
You had to ask me that question. This is something that I struggle with. All right. So if you tuned in at all, you've heard us talk about boundaries. You've heard us talk about calendars. We went into the Impact Effect community. We showed you how to make a calendar. We give you go high level. So we've talked about this. When you make your calendars, so people can book digitally on your calendar without you having to converse and talk to them and waste energy, right? Or do things that aren't revenue producing activities that we talked about with pseudo productivity, right? Thinking that, you're doing the things that create the impact and they don't. You can put buffers in your calendar. So I have, Rachel's going to make fun of me. I have a 5-minute before and after buffer. But I really need to move that to probably 30 minutes.
I would say at least minimum 15. Just because, like you just said, like, are you even processing the conversation that you had? Are you allowing yourself to write notes? And like, what if inspiration comes from that? You're not allowing yourself the time to even think, like, what just happened? And then what inspiration can I get from that energy and that energy exchange? And exactly what you said, even if it's negative, even if it's like, okay, never want to talk to that person again, or I didn't like where the energy was in this conversation, you need to allow yourself the time to think that through. So I would say minimum 15 minutes, max 30.
It's funny because you said take notes, and I'm a note taker, but here's, I think, the game changer from what I've learned today in the last 14 minutes and 34 seconds from producer Rachel. Fucking amazing. I wish I took the masterclass with you 10 years ago. What I've learned is part of what I'm doing is me falling into pseudo productivity. I'm taking the notes during the meeting, but I'm not giving myself time to reflect and then write the notes that matter most. So for instance, I can obviously, right, I've been scripted this way my whole life, whether it was in school or business, but it's like you listen, you write down the key point. Listen, write down the key point. Well, when you have a page and a half of key points, what's the key point? All you're doing is taking a 300, verbal novel that we've exchanged, right, verbally, auditory, and put it on to a 100-page novel. When are you going to drill it down to the one pager or the one thing or the most impactful product, where you can show up with the most productivity that moves the needle most based on that meeting or that call or that, networking opportunity? And I think that's where I've missed the ball, producer Rachel. Like, the reality of what I've just learned is the fact that, wow, the notes are great, but if I don't reflect after, download it, give myself time to breathe, stay in the same flow because I just had a great meeting, well, what comes for Jim comes after the meeting, not in it. And I'm cutting myself short of what I can give myself and what I can get after the meeting to ensure that I'm doing the things that rise my energy and not drain. Like,
and also, and don't take this in a mean way, but who do you have something to prove to by having a packed schedule? Like, who are you, like, because Jim's the busiest man ever. Okay. So like, who are you trying to prove that to? Does that make sense? Like, just because you're busy and your schedule's booked also doesn't mean you're moving the needle. Like, back to yesterday's conversation of pseudo, productivity.
100%.
It just means that your calendar is booked and you don't have no time to think.
Someone's been reaching out to me pretty often, and it's a huge drain. Like, it doesn't align with what I'm trying to do right now. It's a distraction, not an opportunity. And they keep texting, they keep following up. And it's one of those things where the only reason why I would take this meeting is to fill the calendar, to make myself feel like I would be busy. There's no value in that conversation, because we don't align. Not that that person's not valuable. Okay, that's a big difference. There's no value in the conversation. They're not valuable. That's a very valuable person. I actually love what they do. I really do. I think they're changing lives. But for me right now, I'm not changing lives in that organization. They are. And I'm changing lives in my organization. I'm changing lives in Impact Effect Community every single day. The text messages prove it. The conversations prove it. The release of stress and just checking in with some of our folks and them just saying, I just need to talk that through. Or, oh, you're going to build that for us next week? Oh, I'm fired up. I'm excited. Wow. Talk about taking action. You guys really do. Like, these are the conversations inside Impact Effect Community with producer Rachel and myself. And how can I fill a calendar to help a different organization when we are seeing so much positive impact in our organization? And it sounds like, oh, you're just going to take care of yourself. I'm not taking care of myself. We're taking care of our community and our people, and the people that chose to believe in themselves, believe in their product, their service, to believe in their dreams. I don't want to give up on those people or give time to another organization right now, because I'm vested and so fired up about Impact Effect Community. So that's the energy gain, right? Like, I'm just reflecting on, just look at my voice and my body movement as I was talking about it, right? So yeah, Rachel, you and that would have been an overcommitment, exactly what we're talking about today, right? It would have been a phone call, then it would have been another meeting, then it would have been text messages asking me to help or do this. And again, that person's valuable, their organization's valuable, they're changing lives. But right now, that's an overcommitment, and that will drain my energy. In the moment when I make the decision, like, yeah, let's go help them, or let's take that meeting, it feels like an energy rise, but it's almost like the high, candy gives you, opposed to like fruit, right? It's fake news. It's fake news.
Exactly. Well, and not to be selfish, but we want you more in the community, right? And so if you're doing all this stuff back to back, you're not going to have more time in the community. And I don't want the community to be the thing that's like, oh God, I have to show up there. The community should be the first thing that you're like, here, Rachel, is my schedule, which we're blocking out now. And then everything after that. I mean, I have no problem responding to people and saying, I'm booking meetings in June. Like I'm done for April. I've already blocked out May for like the bigger things that I'm doing within my other businesses. I'm booking June right now. And that's it. Like I have no problem pushing things to that because I'd rather, if you want me, like come into the community. Right. Right. And we do have there's a free version where if people want to like sort of spy on what's going on, they can do that. Right. Is that if we go to Impact Effect Community, is there a way to do that? Do you know how to drive people to like the free part of it?
Yeah.
So they just want to see.
If you fill out the form, and just basically apply, we'll place you if you don't make the payment. We'll still call you because we still check in with all the members. But you just don't get the level of prioritization, to be honest. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. If there's a member reaching out in the free community and there's 20 in the paid, the 20 are getting priority. And I don't want to say you're not valuable or we don't want to help you, but we've got to help the people who are helping themselves and investing in themselves first, right? And then the overflow will come to the free members, which there will be overflow. I just can't prioritize that, right?
Yeah. So we do certain lives within the community that are public so anybody can see them. So like as we go, we will all grow together. And that's what I'm so excited about is like seeing what our members want to learn that we're creating challenges around and like micro challenges around so that because we don't want to overwhelm anybody. We don't want to be like, here's the 20 things you have to do for this. It's just literally, if you have 15 minutes this week, here's your one challenge to get done. And then we'll build on those little micro steps as we go, because it just, for me as a business owner, it just didn't work. Right. It was here's 20 chapters of a course. Let me know how it goes in our mastermind in 2 months. It's like, that doesn't work for me. I need something every day. I needed micro challenges. And so that's kind of how we built it out. And we're building them around each member and their needs. So, and by default, everyone else will learn stuff, right?
Wait, our foundation is around deep human connection and actively listening to what our members need, not what our egos are telling us they need.
Right. Yeah.
That's Impact Effect Community, folks. Like let's get the ego and the guru bullshit out of here, and let's just show up and love on each other and give people what they need. And here's the beauty, I think, in Impact Effect. And I know we're past time, but I gotta say this because it's so much from the heart. If we were a doctor and you came in to the doctor's office and we said, you need this medication, this is the problem, here you go. And you went home and took that medication and it didn't solve the problem, we'd be getting sued for malpractice. Because we didn't actually assess you. We didn't understand your learning style. We didn't understand your problem, your symptoms, the struggles you're facing today because that problem isn't solved. Once we understand that and we onboard you and we talk to you every month because problems change, then we can diagnose the situation. And guess what? We may not be the specialist, right? So we bring in the specialist to solve that problem, right? If I'm a primary care doctor and you have a rare infection in your ear, I can't service you. So I recommend someone and in my network, right? That's in network. And then I make the introduction. I give the referral. I write the piece of paper and you go get the thing. Instead of sending you to get the thing, we're going to go get the thing for you. And we're going to diagnose this based on the symptoms, working with you and listening and understanding. I mean, heck, I went and got blood work and the person was like trying to tell me this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, you haven't even asked me what I eat on a weekly basis. How are you going to tell me I need to take this or do that? Like my cholesterol is a little high because I eat a ton of protein. I eat a ton of eggs. Like I'm not eating just garbage. Right. So like I get it's high, but if you just listened to what I was doing, maybe you'd recommend I do a different type of exercise, not give me a pill. But the easy way is you fit this category, let's give you the pill. Well, in impact effect community, there is no categories. There is no boxes. There is no containers we live in. So we assess at the deepest level, and then we go on and we go to work for you. And we go to find that person that can help and solve that. So I'll end it on there just because I get so excited. I could talk about this for an hour and a half.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, what are you overcommitting to?
exactly. Figure it out and think about where you can build in time to sort of just reflect, relax, recap, or even just go to the bathroom and get some water. I mean, back-to-back stuff is not good for your mental health. End scene. All right. Thank you, everybody.
We'll see y'all
Have an
tomorrow.
amazing day. Okay.